the hell was that?
Phantoms, poltergeists and murder await the most haunted team in North Wales.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. With records dating back to 1461, the castle behind me is said to be home to many a strange paranormal happening. With human bones found behind a wall and civil war, it's no wonder that phantoms roam here in abundance. With dark shapes, strange smells and full apparitions, they've all made their home here at Bodelwynddan Castle.
Lying a few short miles inland from the northern Welsh coastline, this impressive building dates back nearly 550 years. It remained a family home until just before the First World War, when it served as a training camp and then a recuperation hospital. Converted into a girls' school in 1920, the castle is now a regional base for the National Portrait Gallery and a public home to many fine works of art.
The amazing thing about this house is that there is no terror, torment, death, murder and suicide, and yet it's haunted. And there are various ghosts here, but we really don't know who they are. And that's, for me, very interesting, because the idea, of course, of us being here is to actually find out who they are.
Along this ornate corridor, a dark, shadowy figure has been seen floating down its full length. Also, disembodied legs have been witnessed walking along here, along with strange noises and the feeling of being watched.
My own experience really dates from about 2 or 3 years ago, when I saw a grey figure going past an entrance in one of the main corridors here. It was quite an interesting experience because it was something like 9:15 in the morning. I was walking into work, talked to one of the staff, but saw this figure going past an entranceway. Thinking it was an intruder, I followed, but there was nobody there, and did a thorough search, but all the doors were locked, and it was quite obvious that there was nobody there.
In the dead of night, when the castle is closed, the sounds of heavy footsteps can be heard coming from the cellar.
From 1915, this place was not only an officers' mess for Canadian soldiers, but also a hospital and training centre. In fact, to this day, at the back of the castle, there are trenches that were used for the purpose of training soldiers. So it's quite amazing to think that soldiers in this wonderful, tranquil surroundings were actually trained for the horrors of Passchendaele, the Somme. What memories they've left behind here, nobody knows.
Going back to the First World War, the director we had then before, Kevin Mason, his wife came to visit him one afternoon in his office, which is across the way from the castle here. And what she saw were 3 gentlemen in army uniform just standing behind him. And he had no idea at all that his wife saw them. And she said to him, "Do you realise you've got 3 gentlemen standing behind you?" And, you know, they just went.
It's said that behind this wall above me are the bones of a very tall man that were found during refurbishment. Nobody knows who he was or how he died. Did he die of natural causes, or was he murdered? And is he one of the ghosts that's seen wandering around the empty halls and corridors of Bodelwynddan Castle? We have 24 hours to find out.
The size and splendour of our new surroundings has already left a favourable impression of the Most Haunted crew. But does parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe feel that this may hinder our investigation?
Well, here we are at Bodelwynddan Castle. It's an absolutely beautiful place. It's very, very big. So how do you think we're going to cope tonight? Because I think a lot of us are going to get lost.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing. At night time, the lights are going to be off. Yeah, we are going to get lost. It's very big. Also, I've noticed walking around, there are a lot of statues and a lot of portraits, and that may be a bit unnerving. This sense of presence, this idea that eyes are following us, or, you know, something's looking at us. I think it's going to add to the fear and anxiety this evening.
Are you going to be using the thermal imaging camera?
Yeah, definitely. It's the ideal sort of equipment to be looking for and verifying any cold spots within the room, but also instantly recording whether the temperature of somebody goes down. So they'll subjectively report, oh, I feel a bit colder. With the thermal imager, we can discount suggestion and we can actually see if the temperature is generally decreasing.
Do you foresee any difficulties tonight?
It might be difficult to research any names or any information that actually comes out either from the medium or from the seance or any other sort of situation, simply because we don't have access to the names of the spirits, the names of the ghosts that are attributed to some of the phenomena that's occurred here.
Spiritualist medium Derek Acora and guest psychic David Wells have been invited to join us in North Wales, arriving separately and with no previous knowledge of this ancient home. But which ghostly characters will choose to make their presence known as we investigate Bodelwynddan Castle?
Just as we've entered this atmosphere, what I wanted to do, I was going to turn you around and say to you, it's shown itself again. This is the second time. There was a big, very tall dog there, long shaggy hair, and just like come to the back of you and just looked up at you like that.
Oh, God.
Honestly. And now again, his energy's disappeared, but he was right at the back of you. I heard the noises coming up, and I knew it wasn't footsteps. I looked, and there he was.
What sort of dog would you say it was?
To me, he's like one of those Irish wolfhounds, big fella.
Yeah.
Not heavy set, but very
Yeah,
tall.
yeah.
And kindred eyes.
Yeah.
Kindred eyes.
Oh.
Now, I feel that dog, okay, he's not in visitation. I feel he's active here.
So padded around the whole building?
Yes.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
OK. What about this area here?
Well, you know, here I'm also Oh!
What?
Who? Yeah. There's a gentleman here, a real gentleman, whose energies he's trying to make the link with me. Bless him. Who are you? Who are you? He's a kindred soul. He doesn't feel negative at all. Rather proud of my place. Rather proud of my place, I keep on hearing. Sir John. Sir John. Is he permanent here, Sam? No, he's in visitation.
OK.
There's a gentleman, a Sir John, who comes here often.
Who is
in visitation.
What's his surname or a date, or just ask Sam to give us some more
Can you give me a bit more? Bit more, please. 1829, 1830. 1829, 1830. Bless you.
That's when he was here.
That's what Sam's just
Right.
given me now. Go on. Since he's been in spirit, he knew of this, but he didn't know who, but now he knows the answers to the mystery.
What's that?
What's the mystery? He found out who did this and who hid the body, put the body behind the wall, the fireplace.
Right. So he during the date that you gave me, that's when he was here and he knew, and the bones were already there.
I feel
behind
that's
the
what Sam's
fireplace.
just given me that
Right,
now, yeah.
okay.
And he knows now who
Was
this is
responsible.
connected to.
Right, okay.
Derek's reference to these mysterious remains appears to relate to the discovery of human bones during restoration work in 1829, as chronicled in the diary of the then owner, Sir John Hay Williams. We decided to move up to the first floor, but as we reached the foot of the stairs, Derek immediately sensed another spiritual energy.
There was a young girl that lost her life here as well. A young girl.
Right.
She walks around. She was what? There's the upper levels. She's up the upper levels.
Right.
Up that way.
Okay.
And I feel that she was here because now I'm getting a group. I'm hearing from the residual Andy a lot of laughter, a lot of girls all over. And it seems as if this one particular sweet soul... how, Sam? Tell me. She... what? Thank you. She was not murdered, but her life was shortened. There was an accident that had happened to this young girl, linked with something happened coming from, thank you, from a classroom, something to do with stairs.
So she fell?
I feel there's a fall, an accident, and here, the damage.
Because she broke her neck?
I feel that must have happened that way, Evie, yeah.
Okay. How old did you say?
I'd say between, I might be slightly out here, between 10 and 12.
And the date that this would have happened?
Go on, Sam, could you give me that again? 19. He's given me 19. It looks like 1920 or 19, something like that. Susanna. Can you give me a surname, please? It looks like Parker. Give it to me clearly. It's either Parker or Parkin.
Okay.
Susanna Parkin or Parks.
Or Parks.
Or Parks even, okay?
Oh, Parks.
I'm just, I'm just relying on to give me that there. Most definitely an initials SP.
Okay.
Okay?
Although unable to directly connect the building with the name that Derek had given, we did appear to be discovering more about the rich tapestry that lies behind this castle. But who else haunts Bodelwynddan, and how welcome would we be made?
Right, I'm doing no more.
Gossip. Stuart.
No.
Stuart, mate.
I can't, no.
Stuart, please just come back 2 seconds because I want to ask.
I'm not going there to see you.
Our investigation in North Wales had already revealed 2 human energies from Bodelwynddan's eclectic past. But would the sculpture gallery offer Derek any further clues as we attempt to unravel one of the castle's most gruesome mysteries?
Sir John is one of the spirit people. Obviously, it's not just him. I feel there's a mixture of everything here that seems to be, but it's like as if there's a number of them congregate, and I feel around this area, congregate at times and discuss things of in their time. The only way I can describe it mentally, they just show me, I don't know why, this will sound silly, but I see a door, and the spirit people are pushing that door like that and then walking through, and yet the next minute they're getting confused. What's happened to the door? What's happened to the door? I don't know what the meaning with this. It's something about a door.
So it's something that's been blocked up?
It's got to be. It's got to be something...
In this room, do you think?
I feel it's on this level.
Right.
And, thank you, Sam, a different way in. A different way in that the spirit people are used to coming in. And it's been changed round. I will. Yes. It was a woman. Thank you. A woman has lost her life here. She was murdered. She was placed behind a wall. The bones linked with the wall. The bones linked with the wall. Her life was taken from her. But you see...
Who took her life?
You know, can I just tell you, Evie? The people who were here in 1649, 1650, the lady was part of that group of known family. And I feel she was, the way Sam's given it to me, she was taken because she was found to be not faithful to her beloved. And I feel her life was taken, and it was like as if she was just placed behind this wall.
Okay.
And you know, but she was already dead. And then it's like something bricked up.
Right.
And at a later date, this was found. And her partner in life, in a fit of rage, anger, found her to be unfaithful. And I know what I get now with the feelings, okay, is I get a blow to my head, and I also get this strangulation. So whether she was rendered unconscious and then he did what he did, putting her behind, but I just have this tendency to feel that she was, her life was taken before she was bricked up. She walks this place very, very unhappy.
Okay.
She causes a lot of activity here, seemingly activity, you know, like sounds and things, because she's discontent even to this day.
Okay.
The unfortunate loss of vital documents in a fire 80 years ago means that much of the castle's early history is now hard to substantiate. But it would appear that Bodelwynddan may have one or two secrets that it wishes to remain unheard. And with our camera switched to night vision, guest psychic David Wells gave us another chilling omen of what may lie ahead.
I'm getting it dragging. The image I'm getting is of someone dragging a corpse.
Oh.
Dragging a corpse along the floor, and it's trailing blood. That's the image I'm getting. There is an angry entity here, and I can't. It's almost like he's not quite what you say in Scotland. You know, he's not the full shilling. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but he's not all there.
Is he... Would you say he's the person that's been murdered or the murderer?
Murderer. This is the murderer.
Do you know how he murdered this person? Did you...
Beat him to death.
Beat him?
Yeah, beat him to death. It's almost like completely godless as well as the words that they're giving me. Completely godless.
Despite being a congenial family home for several centuries, Bodelwynddan Castle appears to still harbour a few forlorn and disgruntled spirits. However, we were all still keen to begin the night vigils, with David joining Kieran, John, Tom and myself in the staircase hall.
Tell you what, this is fantastic, isn't it? It's very rare. It's very rare that the places we go to are so very quiet and so dark as well. I mean, so completely stark.
What was that?
Shh.
I heard then what I thought was the sound of almost like somebody dropping a torch on the floor. Out back in that corridor.
Yeah, they're very close. It would seem very close, didn't it?
Yeah. Are there any spirit people here in this place with us now? Can you try and give us a sign? Can you make a noise? Please come forward. We don't mean you any harm. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Please come forward. Is there somebody in there?
In that room.
What? Did it not sound like someone
Yeah,
to
but
you?
I can't tell if it's at the end of the corridor in the room or off to the right. You know, the way we came.
Staircases.
With everyone else confined to our crew room on the opposite side of the castle, we were all a little baffled by the origin of these nearby sounds. We decided to move back down a floor and into the same cellar where David had recently sensed an outcast, a murderous soul.
Is there any spirit person down here in the cellars? If there is, please could you give us a sign to let us know that you can hear us and see us? Can you come forward? Please. Please try and talk to us.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Please try and talk to us.
That sounded very distinct.
Still there.
What's wrong?
Footsteps.
The beeping that you can hear at 10-second intervals is the EMF meter recording.
Yeah.
It's just going to record for 5 minutes and then stop, and that's what that beeping is. But the sounds we heard, footsteps, was different to that, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's a dragging.
Where's it coming from, Tom?
I think it sounds regular to me.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's...
Some sort of tunnel.
Is it that
Behind that door.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
You want to listen to it?
That was distinct.
It's so loud. You have to be quiet. On the left hand.
Shh.
Fuck. It sounds like somebody blowing in the microphone. It does. It just sounds to me like someone's going...
That's weird. Oh, who's there?
Definite dragging sound.
Fuck is that? Hello? Hello?
If you're in this room with us, could you make a noise? Let us know you're here. Maybe we can help you.
What's a clock?
There's a footstep or a door.
Make a bigger noise so it leaves us in no doubt, and I'll be able to help you. I need to know you're here.
What's
I
up?
did hear that.
Something... Nothing touched that door.
Sounded like something touched the door, something pushed the door.
It
You
did.
can't tell.
Yeah, it did.
Just something touched the door.
Touch the door, I'd say. It wasn't a push.
Had nightfall signalled a change in the serenity of our surroundings? What presence hid behind the cellar door? And what other tricks would the night hold for the most haunted team?
No, you did, you did.
I didn't. I heard it, honestly.
Oh my God!
A fortress in name, Bodelwynddan Castle has so far been kind to its latest occupants. However, all 5 group members have verified that a succession of sounds, possibly a dragging noise, could be heard from directly outside the cellar door. We did check outside, but to no avail, and with none of the other crew members taking responsibility, the question of what had been on the other side of this door would remain unanswered. David Wells felt that someone was ready to make contact on this investigation, and he decides to hold a séance in the sculpture gallery.
If there's anybody in this room, please make yourself known to us.
But would the eyes that staff and visitors often feel watch them actually be able to provide us with a clearer message?
Are you connected to someone round this table, Frederick?
After just a few minutes, we began to receive a response. However, none of us were prepared for the events that would follow. Over the course of 30 minutes, personal messages started to come through to the table via David. Initially, these messages were directly for Carl, and then even more bizarrely, for me. This occurrence took us all by surprise. It had never happened to any of the crew before, and I in particular found all of this a little weird and very emotional.
I miss my grandma.
But what was extremely interesting was the evidence detected by Kieran's thermal imaging camera.
Give Yvette a sign of when you're near her so she knows you're there. Touch her, or sense a feeling.
As the glass moved towards me, I felt a breeze brush across my hand.
Oh, cold.
Cold. Whereabouts?
Under my hand.
This thermal image photo, taken at exactly the same time, may offer further proof of the aura that I had just sensed. In stark contrast to the red glow around the hands of everyone else, my hand is clearly blue in colour. Surprised, intrigued, but also perplexed by what we had all just seen, we decided to take a short break to recover our composure. It hadn't escaped our attention that so far we had only encountered audio responses to our appeals for activity. Yet Bodelwynddan had promised us more than bumps and bangs. If we were to capture something more, then we would need to cover all 4 floors. With guest psychic David Wells leading a group upstairs, Carl, Richard and Stuart head for the cellar, whilst Rachel, Alex and Most Haunted's newest team member Joe help to hold my hand as we explore the ground floor.
I just don't get the feeling in this room at all that anything is going to happen. I really don't. I just can't. There's no feeling of. It just feels nice.
It feels like we're in a nice room.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the other rooms in the building.
Yeah. It's a nice. Ooh. I felt like something just tickled the top of my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? How is it?
You alright? Yeah.
Nice to.
Yeah, fine. Just to let you know, I'm holding Carl's hand. This is the only way we can get through.
No, this is not what it seems. Okay?
No,
we're
we're lovers.
We're tough hard men. You alright, Stu?
Yeah. So where should we go first? Do we stay here or should we go further on?
Don't mind. I think we should go to the farthest extreme first. Do you and then work our way back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
You
good
want
to
your
me. Yeah, superb.
Shit. What was that?
Is that you, Stu?
No.
Oh, come on, it was.
No.
What?
That wasn't
Stop,
me.
everyone stop. Everyone stop where they are.
What was that? What was that? No.
Is that it?
No. It was definitely plastic.
There was something moving.
Yeah, it was plastic. No doubt. It was not. Wasn't that? God, it's freezing cold.
Right, shall we find a position now then? Somewhere where we
Perhaps we
can,
better stay here then.
if we can kneel down, sit down or get something to sit down on so we're comfortable
Guys.
and then we can conduct.
Table.
Table, tilt.
Tilt?
My table. That's a nice one, isn't it?
I feel immediately sick.
Do you?
Immediately want to be actually almost physically sick. Almost wanted to vomit.
Cold in here.
Why is that? Just the presence of, or just
Yeah.
a general sort of
No, this
negative
very
feeling?
very strong energy made me want to, literally, almost, I had to fight it back there.
Is there anyone from any families that used to inhabit this place? Anyone who lived here, but for whatever reason, still lingers, still stays here?
Well, so far nothing. I've been into the library room again, and it all seems incredibly quiet. But then it is only early yet, so slightly disappointing.
But did you definitely feel negative? Just
Yeah, I felt the nausea's gone, but when I first walked in, it was extremely strong. One of the strongest feelings of nausea that I've ever had in the places we've been. There's also like a laughter in there, but it's not a nice laughter. It's laughing at rather than with, you know. Is anyone here? Could you just move something, make a noise? Let us know you're here.
Is it moving?
Well, it is moving. I ain't doing it.
I'm
fingers are now off. If you are there, I ask you to continue to move the table. And the first question I will ask, is there someone here who wants to make contact with us now? You are there. There is someone here, and you're not. No, I'm not moving.
I'm not moving
No.
at all. I'm not moving at all. Is it still moving now?
Are you there? Is it? Yeah, you are there. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear at you.
I don't know, but I just heard laughing.
There should be very nice. There should be people in the cellar. And people on the top floor. That's it.
John Williams. Is it you, John Williams? Are you making contact with us now? John Hay Williams, are you here?
Sorry.
I know I heard something. There was a noise over there.
There's a noise that came from that corner.
Yeah.
Who was that? Who was that?
John Hay Williams. John Hay Williams. Rebuilder of the house in 1830. Are you here? Oh God. John, thank you for talking to us. You sound really excited, and we're excited at you being here. You're proud of this house, aren't you, John? You love the house, and you still love it. Can I ask you? Tears coming down my cheeks again.
Have you?
Oh yes, this. You don't know how emotional I get with this.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not frightened. We're not frightened of you, John, and I'm sure you don't want us to be.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Hang on, John, 1 minute. Don't go away.
Sorry, Richard.
That's right, mate. Yeah, don't go away, John.
That is calm here.
Are you making loads of noise, like lots of talking?
We are down in the cellar, but we are talking at a very, very. I mean, if you can hear me now, then that's us. But this is the level I'd be talking down here.
We've just heard like lots of women, or a woman or women talking, chatting very, very loudly. Just wondered if you'd heard it.
No, but what we have got is some extreme movement on a table down here. We're doing some table tilting from John, and which has got very, very emotional.
Nothing up here so far, apart from the women's voices. I think we're going to go and check it out.
Right out loud.
What? Hello, John, are you?
What was that?
John, are you with us?
There's a lot happening. We're just seeing shadows down here.
John.
Something moved over there. Something
Holy
moved there.
John. Are you with us, John?
Right out loud.
John, is there another way of you? Are you with us now in this room?
If you're a spirit in this room and you can hear me, please try hard for us. What is that noise? I think it is. Should we go towards the door? If there's anybody here in this room, please can you try and open this door?
Move the table and let us know. Are you making the noises in the back of the room?
Show yourself. Show yourself now. If you are here, show yourself. If you wish to inflict harm upon us, well, please do so. Yes.
Now, John, you don't want to do that. You don't want to make. No, you don't want to make harm with us. You just continue. Thanks, John. Thanks, John. You're wonderful. Now, really, can you actually make it move now? Keep it going. Keep the energy going, John, and make a supreme effort using our energy and actually move the table slightly in the room. Keep going. Don't let it stop. Please, John.
Carl, Richard and Stuart seem to have made contact with John Hay Williams. Bizarrely, 3 floors above this scene, David was also sensing this former landowner.
I've got the man here, John. He's trying to tell us to get off the floor. He's quite flustered that we're sitting on the floor. Oh. He's quite sort of concerned that we're sitting on the floor. He is like, get off the floor, get off the floor.
Can you tell why?
Because guests shouldn't sit on the floor. He sees us as guests.
Are you still with us? John, have we frightened you off? John, are you no longer here? Are you no longer with us? You've gone.
Is there anyone else here? John, has somebody else scared you off? Is there someone else here?
I'm getting the name Williams, or William with him as well.
With you, John William, or John Williams, or another person?
William could be another person.
What the hell was that?
Approaching the end of our investigation in North Wales, the Most Haunted team had split up into 3 separate groups, each monitoring their own floor of Bodelwynddan Castle. With David's group upstairs and Carl's in the cellar, Rachel, Alex, Joe and myself had tentatively reached the exquisite but equally eerie surroundings of the sculpture gallery.
Okay, I think it's just the draft. Is it this door? No, it's not. Boys, listen. What's that?
Did you touch it? It is that door.
It is that door.
Yeah. It's like, as far as I'm aware, it's just a staircase, I think.
Yeah, it's a draft. Can't open it. Yeah, it is. It's locked.
Did you breathe down my ear?
No.
You did,
No,
you
I
did, you
didn't.
did.
I didn't. I heard it, honestly, I heard it.
Oh my.
Oh my god. Right, everyone alright? I heard it as well, but I
Tell me what you heard, tell me what you heard.
I thought you went...
Yeah, no, it
You
wasn't.
stood next to me.
No.
And then you screamed, but I thought you went, because your head went to say something.
out there, it's Stuart, over.
I didn't actually...
Oh my.
They might have heard us.
Oh my. That was so loud.
Hi Rachel, did you just hear a lot of screaming outside?
It was us screaming.
Was that you lot screaming?
Well, we just screamed because we heard something.
Deep
But it was us. It was us screaming.
Okay, right. Let's just take some deep breaths, guys. Let's get back in there because this is
Deep
down
breath. Come on, deep breath.
I keep getting this, and I get it a lot now, but it was really... I'm not going mad. Because I know, because you heard
Because
it.
you thought it was... I thought it was about...
There was something
I thought
here.
it was
Something was there.
Blimey. That was really scary. I thought we were all going to fall through the window, to be honest with you.
If you hadn't have heard that, Rach, everybody would have thought, oh, that's just hearing things again.
No, I heard
but
it.
I'm so pleased you did.
No, I did, because
And it was good because I asked you to tell me what you heard
Yeah,
and you
before you
described
said
it. Yeah.
Because what I thought was you went to go, I've just seen something. And when you all screamed, when I was sort of stood there going, what? I actually thought it was you. I didn't think it was...
Did you die in the cellar, down here where we are? You did die down here. Did you die in the part of the cellar that we're in now?
Right out loud.
You did die down here. You died down here where we are now.
What are you getting up for?
Oh, just because my legs are hurting, mate. That's what I'm ready
You
to
run
run.
out of here.
No, I'm not going. Please stay with us. Don't leave us. Please don't leave us. We want to help you.
Right out loud.
You did die.
Right out loud.
Please, can you do again what you did before? Please, can you make a noise? Please, can you touch one of us? Please, can you show us a sign that you're in this room with us? Please, please, can you do what you did before? We know that you're in this room with us. We know you're here with us. Please, can you show us a sign that you're here?
Did you hear it then? But fainter.
In that room?
Well, just there. Where's that door?
No, the door's really going for it now.
I ask you to leave this place and go to the light, wherever you should go, whatever happy place you should go to. You are allowed to go, I promise you. Godspeed. Please go. And we say goodbye.
See what the?
I've got hold of it.
Right, I'm doing no more. That's it.
Stuart,
No.
Stuart, mate.
Can't, no.
Stuart, please just come back 2 seconds because I want to ask.
I'm not going near that
See if you
table
got-
anymore now. How you feeling, Richard?
Frightened to death. Frightened to death. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. I've got a cross around me. I only started wearing this after. I'm not a religious person, you know that, don't you? I just have this cross around my neck since that Craigie Noss place.
Carl?
I can't believe it.
I have to admit, Stuart, I'm almost speechless. What's just happened here is been phenomenal. I know I've said it earlier, and I don't want to just repeat myself, but I'm always very sceptical about Ouija boards and table tilting and all that. But I can honestly say that not only did, when things happened, that it felt very cold first. I know for a fact, and you know, no disrespect to Richard, I watched Richard's fingers. They were right off the table. At one point, we had about 3 or 4 seconds of this table moving on its own.
Yeah, there was no bit there.
And it's not a light table. It's quite a heavy table, and for it to move like it just did, I mean, I kind of want to have a look and see if there's any fishing wire underneath it because it moved too well. And this is a table. I mean, if you look underneath it, I mean, one, it's good to get a shot underneath the table to make sure, to show there's nothing there's nothing attached to it. But there's no casters on it. This is a hard metal table, and for it to slide across this floor.
Have you noticed how much warmer it's got?
Yeah.
Our night at Bodelwynddan Castle had certainly been eventful, from the mysterious sounds heard on the very first vigil to this violent and terrifying climax. Much of the activity seemed to manifest in the cellar. Although our locked-off camera failed to capture the shadowy shapes that both Carl and Stuart witnessed, we did later discover this unusual light anomaly in this same room. With so little known about the exact identity of the spirits said to roam here, it is difficult to say what force or motivation lay behind the chilling phenomena that we encountered throughout the night. We could only surmise that if a presence was making itself felt, it may not have welcomed our stay at this historic location.
Well, that's the end of one of the most fantastic evenings I've ever had. Carl, me, Stuart, there we were in the cellar, didn't think there was going to be a lot there. But the amazing thing is that David had already come up with this bloke dragging something in the cellar. Now, this was not recorded in any way. No one had heard anything about it. We went down into the cellar just for nothing more than an ordinary vigil. And of course, guess what we saw down there? A table. So, bit of table tilting. Well, I don't know, it was absolutely fantastic. We really did get some incredible results. Can you actually make it move now? Keep it going. Keep the energy going, John. And the table was, I suppose the only way I can describe it is thrown at me. It hit my foot. I squealed like a girl. Oh boy, it was excellent. For me, fantastic night. I'm still talking about it, and I'll go on talking about it for a long, long time.
In Bodelwynddan Castle, the main focus of the phenomena was actually in the basement. 2 separate groups experienced phenomena. One group actually experienced auditory phenomena, and they all independently heard what could only be described as a scratching sound or some sort of footsteps right outside the basement. A second group had a lot of very compelling and very intense experiences.
You sound really excited. We're excited at you being here.
My own theories on table tilting are to do with unconscious fraud. However, this particular footage shows the table moving a distance of about 2 feet, and certainly unconscious fraud would not explain this. Now, all of this is on film. In an ideal world, we'd have a lot more cameras filming that. So I'd like to examine the tape a lot more before I then say it's a paranormal occurrence.
A beloved family home, a seat of learning, and now a haven for fine art. But just how many bitter memories lie within the walls of Bodelwynddan Castle? Until next time, sleep tight.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle once predicted that in the future, all detectives will be clairvoyants. Psychic Detective, next Tuesday at 10:30, only on Living TV.
But stay tuned to Living TV because coming next, it's Most Haunted Extra.